Yeah, NBA Straya, how you going? Hey, you going? You're right, you should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, we just got an awesome day of NBA basketball, didn't we? That was sick. Well, that was just fun as. I'll tell you what, I'm giddy with excitement. So, I'll tell you what, I'm your host, James Clemens. This is NBA Straya. I'm in Larry Armour Studios. You can see all the fun stuff behind me if you're watching on the YouTube. What are you doing? Lots of fun stuff going on. Either way, we had Steph first go nuclear. Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear for 52. And then Jokic goes even bigger and drops a 61-point triple-double and loses. It was insane. What a day. We'll break it all down in the NBA Straight Game Race. We've got That's Not an iPhone, Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo Ball. We've got Power Rankings as the unpopular opinion of the day. Basically, which team do you like right now up against the other teams below them or above them? That's how we're going to do these Power Rankings. It's fun as. We've also got OUTBACK TAKEHOUSE as well as some year-nars. We'll do a quick Shane Hill shoot your shot, line 'em up award. The Aussie Player Watch, the Australian Player Watch, and of course, a pick and preview for all the games tomorrow. It's a big chockers HUMP day show for your big April 2nd. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Episode, 1237 of NBA Straya. That's not bad. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek. This is Nick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the Shaq attack.
You better. I mean, the Shaq attack today was just, hey, Shaq, 2001 you versus 2025 Nikola Jokic. What would happen? Slavian chicken or wherever he's from. Can we not do this? I'm a bit just like over this whole Shaq just shitting on like big dudes from net. Like Jokic just had 61, 10, and 10. And today, Shaq is like, I'll eat him up, Slavian chicken. If you're not even fucking sure that he's Serbian, you fucking idiot, Shaq, what are you doing? I'm fucking sick of this bullshit where we've got people covering the NBA who don't know their ass from their elbow about the current day NBA. It shits me up the fucking wall. It'd be better if it was funnier, like Slavian chicken or whatever. All right, Shaq, sure. Whatever. Anyway, let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Show with the Daily. It's a whip around, is it, Jim? Yes. Got my foot looked at today. Bone spur, heel spur, they reckon. So I'm going to get that and my shoulder fixed up. We'll see what happens. So that's some good news. Anyway, let's start today with the news of the NBA basically suspending a bunch of the Wolves and the Pistons for that fracas the other day. I love a good fracas. Fracas. Isaiah Beef Stew, he goes out for 2 games. Goes out for 1 game. Naz Reid suspended 1 game. Ron Holland fighting around the world. He's out for 1 game, and so is Marcus Sasser. Enjoyed this, but my favorite one out of this that comes out of all this wash is like, was it Malik Beasley on Instagram? Bad boys for life. Yeah, like retweeting like the punch on. I'm using air quotes. There was not much punching going on. It was just a bit of a scuffle, wasn't it? And then someone pointed out what Malik Beasley is doing during this bad boys for life scuffle. He's like on the edge going, don't do that. Boys, stop it. Oh, come on, guys. Stop. Bad boys for life. Good job, Malik Beasley. The other little bits and bobs of news. There wasn't a giant amount today outside of just some of the incredible performances. But we also, we got a little bit of an update on Kevin Durant's injury. He's hoping to be back before the end of the season. I broke that down on yesterday's show, just how cooked the Suns are with that insane schedule that they've got coming up. But then we also got the March awards. You know me, I love awards. And I love these monthly awards that the NBA is now giving out because obviously players of the month. Kobe White won it for the East, which is awesome. He had averaged, 27 points, 5 rebounds. They go 9-6 in that time. Sure. That's great. SGA, 35 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 7.4 assists. They went 15-1. It's a little bit better than Kobe. But my favorite is obviously our man, Dyso. That's right. Old Dyso. Dyson Daniels, the Great Barrier Thief himself, the Man of Steel, copped his second Eastern Conference Defensive Player of the Year award. I love this. Of the Month award. Player of the Month of the Year of the award. Which is great because he's an absolute weapon. So let's bloody go. Out west, it was Draymond Green because, the Warriors ranked 4th in NBA defensive ranking. Draymond was 3rd in steals per game. Dyson was 1st. Draymond was 3rd in contested shots per game. Great. He can jump. All the Great Barrier Thief did was average 3.3 steals a game, 5.4 deflections a game, and force 3.1 turnovers, which is just absurd. He's incredible. Our man, Dyson Daniels. We've got some more stats about him in 1 second. Rookies of the month were Stephon Castle and Zachary Rissachet. And Zachary Rissachet, I think I talked about this on, was it maybe Monday show? The most underrated and non-talked about number 1 pick since Anthony Bennett was stinking it up. Michael Olaquandi, anyone? Kwame Brown, I don't know. But Rissachet has been really, really good for 6 to 8 weeks now. So it's really good to see him get the nod for the month of March. And Stephon Castle is your rookie of the year, if you ask me. Just saying. And the coaches were Mark Daigneault and Joey Muzz. Oh, bro, I'm going to celebrate winning the Coach of the Month award, bro, by watching The Town, eh? Oh, I love this. My favourite movie, bro. I watch it all the time, bro. So there you go. But Dyson Daniels today as well. So he wins the Eastern Conference Defensive Player of the Year of the Month award. But today, he got his 3rd steal of the game today. So that puts him to 216 for the season, which is equal most since 2009. That's when Chris Paul had 216 back in 2008, 2009. That's awesome. And with his second block of that game today, Dyson Daniels had his 50th block of the season. That is the first, making him the first player since Scottie Pippen in 94-95 to have 200-plus steals and 50-plus blocks in a single season. That is absurd. It is awesome. And I mean, it's just giving me an excitement quiver.
I had an excitement quiver. I get very excited.
I get very excited. But yeah, this season of Dyson is going to go straight to the pool room.
This is going straight to the pool room.
Right, let's do some game wraps. Game wraps. We had awesome games today. Portland get by Atlanta, an absolute corker of a game, 127-113. Deni Avdija, you know how much I love him. He was absolutely unbloody real. God, he was good. He had 32, 15, and 10. And it barely touched the side on the best performances of today. We'll talk about that later. And I'll tell you what, Trae Young was really good. 29 and 15 despite shooting 7 of 20. That's a huge win for the Blazers out of nowhere. Tough loss for the Hawks. We'll talk about that in a second because Orlando got a big win. Philly got curb stomped by the Knicks despite not having Karl Anthony Towns. He sat out very late in the piece with a knee injury. No Cat, no Brunson, no worries. Q Grimes threatened a bit of a revenge game, but he didn't quite get there. Their makeshift point guard situation for the Knicks, Delon Wright, Sham Wow, they were fine. And OG Anunoby's just taken a bit more of a step up offensively, and they're winning. Phoenix got stomped by Milwaukee. It's Algonquin for the good land. It was today because Giannis goes whoppang. And the Suns, without KD, in a repeat of the 2021 NBA Finals, just could not hang. Despite the 39-11 from Devin Booker, Giannis had 37, 5, and 11. They got 23 from Rollins, 22 from Brook Lopez, and they were just better. And sort of just stomped them in the second half and ran away with it. Good win for the Bucks, who had been looking pretty squirrely. Then we had Orlando beat San Antonio. We picked San Antonio yesterday, thinking Orlando on a big travel day would sort of fall in a bit of a heap, and they did, but then they came good in the fourth quarter. It was chaos. It was the exact opposite of what should happen. They went 37-21 in the fourth quarter. The notorious KCP and Palabancaro and Wendell just went off. Huge game for the Magic. Huge fourth quarter. KCP just must have been like, you know what? I love the Western Conference. Woke up feeling dangerous, had 23 points, hit 7 threes. And that's all the difference that it can make sometimes for Orlando. If someone on that team hits threes, they win. Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, hello, were pretty good too. Toronto just ended up getting curd stomped by Chicago. Again, a really, really, really good win for Chicago, who clinch a play-in spot. 137-118. Josh Giddey was pretty bloody good. Just a really solid win after a lot of travel for that Bulls team. Golden State, Memphis, an awesome game. Ja goes off, but Steph Curry goes nuclear. He went nuclear. 52! That is not even the best performance of the bloody day. He hit 12 threes. It was insane. They jumped out to this big lead. Memphis just pulled them back in, and we're basically tied up going to the fourth. And the Warriors just held them off and got the win. It was great. 52 from Steph, 27 from Butts, 13, 10, and 12 from Draymond. Grizzlies got 36 and 6 from Ja Morant. Was not enough. Desmond Bane's has been a bit off his feet all year, and it was just a bit weird today. 22 and 7 for Jaren Jackson Jr. before he fouled out. And then the big one, the double OT classic between the Wolves and the Nuggets, with Nikola Jokic finishing with a 61, 10, and 10 and losing. He played 53 minutes, did the big Serb. That's right, Shaq. He's from Serbia. God damn, wherever he's from. Just fucking learn where he's from, you idiot. It's not hard. Anyway, 38 and 5 for Aaron Gordon, and they weren't good enough because Russell Westbrook submarined them at the end. I'll talk about that in a second. He finishes with 12 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 turnovers, 4 of 11 shooting. Rusty, what are you doing, mate, right at the end? And the Wolves got 34, 10, and 8 for Ant-Man, who hit massive threes at the end of the fourth quarter. Just kept hitting sick buckets, was being double-teamed pretty hardcore. And they eventually figured out a way to sort of navigate these double teams for Ant-Man. They brought Conley back on, Nicky Alexander-Walker, these relief ball handlers, essentially, when Ant-Man was getting doubled. And at first, it sort of completely took him out of the play, and then he sort of found a way to get more involved and had a really good bucket late that came back off the sort of the handover out of the double team, and then gets it back after 2 very, very smart passes in the lane, scores a huge bucket. They win it 140-139, 26, 9, and 7 for Julius Randle, who also was just good and bad, just like Rusty. And they got 26 from Nicky Alexander-Walker, including the massive free throws at the end when he got fouled by Rusty. Rusty misses a layup. We're going to talk about this in a second in Old Mate, No Mates, but misses a layup when they're already up 1. Goes back the other way. Wolves do not call a timeout. Nicky Alexander-Walker in the corner. They're down 1. He launches a 3. Rusty fouls him with 0.1 of a second left. He hits the first 2, misses the third one on purpose. Wolves win. Incredible game. Woo! So let's do an NBA Straya Approved Performer of the Night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
What are you going to do? Steph Curry hits 12 threes, has 52 points. We've got 2 blokes with 50-plus point double-doubles in the same evening, Steph and Nikola Jokic. For the last time that happened was 19-3 when Elgin Baylor and Wilt Chamberlain did it. Seriously, February 13, 1963. Steph has 52, absolutely lights it. Hits 8 threes in the first half, has 30. He's absolutely crushing it down there in Memphis. Finishes with 52, 10, and 8 with 5 steals and a block. Shot 16 of 31, 12 of 20 from downtown. Passes Jerry West on the all-time scoring list for 29th. And with 52 points, he only needs 74 more to go past Reggie Miller and Rick Barry to become 26th all-time with 7 games left in the season. That's his second 50-point game of the year. That's his 15th of the career. It ties Dame for 6th most ever. And he just turned 37. That's insane. He scored 50-plus points 10 times now since turning 30. It's the most in NBA history. It's the most, obviously, but also it's as much as Michael Jordan and LeBron James combined. Insane. Absolutely insane. But Nikola Jokic went, that's very nice, very cool. Serbian chicken. 61, 10, and 10. What an absurd stat line. One of the most insane games you'll ever see. And the fact that they lost is such a kick in the dick for this poor Nuggets team that usually is unstoppable at home, but is 25 and 13 now at home. But anyway, 61, 10, and 10. No Jam and Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon was awesome with these 30, but they just didn't quite have enough. Jokic was incredible. 18 of 29 shooting, 6 of 11 from 3. He took 24 free throws, hit 19 of them. That's better. Well, that's a better percentage than the entirety of the Wolves team, who went 17 of 25 combined, which is the fact that he took one less free throw than the entirety of the Wolves team. Pretty chaotic. But what a game from him. He was absolutely insane. Oh, the Joker. Flip side, Giannis had 37, 5, and 11. Deni Avdija, 32, 15, and 10. And it doesn't matter because Jokic had 61, 10, and 10. A 61-point triple-double is just off its head, mate. Off its bloody head. What a day. That was awesome. But who was Spud of the night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Oh, yeah, we had a few Spuds as well. That's the best time of year for the Spuds. March and April, I'll tell you what, we went 1 of 11 with Precious Achua. Bless you. 1 of 11. God, you're that big. How do you miss 10 shots, Precious? He had 9 rebounds at least. George Niang, the minivan, the G-Wagon, not the G-Spot. Mamu Kalashvili. Mamu goes 1 of 6, same as Niang. You had 4 of 15 for Delano Banton. You had 4 of 14 for Scotty Barnes. Bit of a rough one. And Zachary Risache. 4 of 12 for Draymond, 7 of 20 for Triple J and Trae Young. But I would very, very much like to thank Jamal Shed and from downtown, Devin Booker and Franz Wagner for shooting. Oh, it's the wrong button, Jim. Press the right one. Woo! He got it. Chill. Yeah, they went and shot 311 Iobiyote. But the big spot of the night is also going to be our old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? That would be Russell Westbrook. Oh, God. You got the good and the bad from Rusty today. A lot more of the bad at the very end, where he quite literally cost them the game. Missing a layup in transition, you're already up 1. You can just kick the ball out. You're like, well, we've got a layup. We'll go up 3. How about you force him to, burn some more clock, whatever, but miss the layup, and then you foul at the other end of the game, giving Nicky Alexander-Walker 3 shots when you're up 1, and boom. Quite literally, Rusty, you lost your team the game. Now, at some point, when someone goes, hey, Russell Westbrook, when you cost your team a game as egregiously as this, I'm pretty sure you can't say shit to a fan who calls you Westbrook ever again. This is the full Russell Westbrook experience. As I said, 4 of 11 shooting for 12 points, 7 assists. That's good. 5 turnovers. That's bad. 0 of 3 from downtown. That's also bad. But it was kind of fun. That's good. It was all over the shop. And the other old mate, no mates, is, I don't know if you've seen this footage today, but it was absolutely chaotic. There's this poor Hawks fan with an awesome name, James, who tore his ACL doing the bloody halftime game, playing fucking noughts and crosses, or as they call it in the States, tic-tac-toe, which is just fucking classically American. Hey, what are we going to call this thing? I don't know, tic-tac-toe. It's like, but it's crosses and zeros. But tic-tac-toe, fucking, hey, what's this coin? It's a dime. How much is that? I don't know, a dime. Fucking idiots. Anyway, this poor bloke, James, goes up for his first layup to do the old tic-tac-toe and shreds his fucking knee. Oh, it looks so, look, as a man who has literally just fucked up his heel and been limping around for the last week and a half, I just, my heart went out to our man James in Atlanta. So, old mate, no mates, he's your mate. That is just, you know that his mates are going to be in the crowd going, oh shit, what are you doing, dickhead? And then they're going to go, oh, I think he's actually fucking hurt, which is an absolute mate's moment. So on you, James. But the cool thing is he's probably going to get a pretty big payout from the Atlanta Hawks. Finally, Pancing. Well, not finally, but Pancing of the night. It's also, I mean, we had a couple of awesome blocks today, but Ja Morant and Buddy Hield, bit of a double pantsing, where they both got tech fouls for pretending to shoot each other with guns. At some point, you have to question Ja Morant's, like, how old are you? Right? Who pretends to shoot guns at people? My fucking 6-year-old, this squid, he's running around with the fucking big old air tubes going, Dad, you like playing Star Wars Battlefront? I'm like the sniper. And I'm like, buddy, you're 6. Let's just fucking chill. But okay. And then the baby comes running in, blasting him with this. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. I've cooked this, haven't I? Classic dad move. I'm going to have to stop playing the old shooters on the tally. Playing Star Wars. Either way, I'll tell you what. But Buddy Hield and Ja Morant, you're grown-ass fucking men. And you're like, pew, 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 pew. I shot you, you're dead. Pew, 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 pew. Fucking morons. What an all-time self-pantsing by a pair of dipshits. Better than Bronny James.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Hey, who is the Milwaukee Bucks' third best player? Probably Kyle Kuzma, Jim. Is it Ryan Rollins? That's right, the 44 pick out of Atlanta, second rounder from, 2 years ago? Absolutely crushed it today for the Milwaukee Bucks against the Phoenix Suns. They of the notorious Colin Gillespie, who was also up for this award. He had 18, 2 and 4 today. It was awesome. 4 of 8 from 3. But Ryan Rollins was really fucking good. Like, really good. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Like, their third most important player behind Giannis and Brook. Like, Kuzma's just shit. Like, he just is. Like, Ryan Rollins took as many shots as Kyle Kuzma, outscored him by 11 points. Get in the bin, Kyle Kuzma. This is Ryan Rollins' team now. And he was better than Bronny James. And Ben Simmons. Also, the Bucks shot 68.9% from the floor today. 58.6 from 3. It's like a fucking record of how well they shot. It's insane. Seriously, what the hell is going on there? So that was pretty fun. Good job by the Bucks. Look, the Suns are an absolute just tire fire. Like, it was apparently the highest field goal percentage this century. So, yeah, 68.9%. It's the most since 1998 when the Clippers dropped 69%. Nice. Over the Raps. The expansion Raptors too. Jeez. All right, let's take a quick break. Come back with some yeah-nahs and the power rankings right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Straya.
listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do some quick yeah-nahs. Hey, Jim, and the Grizzlies cooked. Yeah-nah. Yeah, basically. I mean, swapping out Taylor Jenkins at the very end of the season, every Grizzlies fan go, yeah, we've been shit against 500 teams all year. It's like, all right, they've now lost 4 on the trot. They're cooked to the degree where the Wolves are now tied with them at 44 and 32. They're 6th and 7th, respectively, in the Western standings at the moment. And they have the same amount of losses as the Clippers. Now, who do you trust more for the rest of this stretch run? The Clippers, the Wolves, or the Grizzlies? The Grizzlies are the team I trust the fucking least. They could drop all the way to 8. And it would not surprise anybody. All it really hinges on is the Wolves and the Clippers winning more games than the Grizzlies from here on out, essentially. So, yeah, I think they're a bit cooked. Is that mostly because Ja Morant's an immature fucking idiot, Jim? Yeah, nah. I hate saying yeah, but it might be yeah. at some point, as I've just sort of yelled about, you're not a fucking little baby. You're 25 years old. I get you do dumb shit in your early 20s, but for a bloke who's been suspended because of dumb shit that he's done, and also gun stuff, maybe we get to question your fucking dumbass maturity when you're pretending to shoot another fucking player on the court from the opposition, you giant fucking moron. What are you doing, Ja Morant? You giant fucking baby. Seriously. My fucking squid would have better sense than that shit. Grow the fuck up. What are you doing? You're 25. You're meant to be the leader of this team. Your coach has been fired. It's all on you from here on out. You're complaining about the offense doesn't suit me anymore. Then shut the fuck up, get to work, and don't pretend to shoot other players on the other fucking team. You fucking idiot. Ja Morant, you dead shit. Anyway, might be a bit why they're cooked. Are the Suns cooked? Yeah, nah. I mean, we covered this yesterday. They are just fucked, aren't they? The way they kept fighting against the Bucks today, so at least you take a little bit of heart in that. But at the same time, this is a very, very thin on the ground Bucks team at home, and you let them score 133 points. What are you doing, Suns? They're starting Ryan Dunn, Nick Richards, Grayson Allen, Devin Booker, and Colin Gillespie. They're fucked. Oh, God. And finally, we keep seeing reports about Josh Giddey and going, oh, could he be the $30 million a year man? As I keep saying, his starting point from here on out is at least 35 mil. Yeah, nah. Yeah. Like, that's where the conversation starts. Well, the conversation probably starts at the Emmanuel Quickley contract, and then we go from there. So, just saying. Right, let's do an unpopular opinion of the day, which is the power rankings for this week. All right.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me, look at me, look at me. It's the week 24 power rankings. Power rankings, power rankings. All right, let's start at the bottom. Now we're here. These teams are all fucking shit, and each game that they play, it's all just tankathon maneuvering. But there are degrees of this. The Jazz are like the worst at the moment, followed very closely by the Sixers, followed very closely by the Wizards, who might actually now be better than the Hornets because at least their young dudes are playing for the Wizards. So we might go Jazz at 30, Sixers 29, Hornets 27 now they've shut down LaMelo, 28 for the Hornets rather, 27 for the Wizards, and the Pelicans now that they've shut down Zion and CJ McCollum are at 26. They're all absolutely horrible, and you just can't watch their games because it's just they're not an NBA team. We need to fix this, Adam Silver. I'm right here. Low six figures salary. I'm your vice president of common fucking sense. Right, next tier is they can't tank properly because they just sometimes win fucking stupid games. 25, that'll be the Brooklyn Nets. 24, it's the Toronto Raptors who are just crushing it. 23, you have the San Antonio Spurs. And at 22, you have the Portland Trail Blazers. None of these teams can tank properly because they've got too much talent and they're just a little bit too bloody good. It's chaos. So good job for all those teams kind of screwing up their draft position. Like the Sixers have got the right idea going, nah, everyone's cooked. We've got no players left. Not sorry about it. At the same time, do the basketball gods usually look fondly upon teams like this? Yes. The Blazers win today was incredible. They're so much fun. Shaedon Sharp was incredible. Deni's unreal. I love that team. But they're at 22. 21, the Phoenix Suns. And at 20, the Miami Heat. This tier is the, what the fuck is up with these teams? From game to game. Because the Heat, out of nowhere, won like 5 games in a row. And they're now up to the 9 seed. But on a game-to-game basis, would you trust them against any of the teams above them in the East or even equal with them right now, i.e. the Chicago Bulls? No. This is the what the fuck is up with these teams game to game. The Suns, they're a mess. They're all just like seriously, just an absolute just schmozzle. And then you've got like the Heat sort of hanging out, just, hey, are we playing Jimmy Butler? Sick, let's kick the fuck out of the Warriors. It's like, all right. My favorite tier, they had Luka Doncic, and now he's a Lakers tier. Now he's a Laker. That would be the Dallas Mavericks, who lost a stupid game to the Brooklyn Nets the other day that they should have won. Otherwise, it's been okay, but they're 19th. They're 9th in the West right now, and they're just look, they're getting healthier, which is good. I just don't know what this team still is. But they're pointed upwards, I reckon. Because they could almost jump into this next tier. Well, they are going to jump into this next tier. But they're on their own tier because they had Luka Doncic and then they traded him for only Anthony Davis and Max Christie. And one pick. What are you doing? The next tier is play-in fodder, but they are still kind of fun. The Sacramento Kings at 18. They're 10th in the West right now. They are still 1.5 games up on the Phoenix Suns. And every game you watch them play, you're like, I don't know. But they have lost 7 of their last 10 games. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to make much noise. And the Chicago Bulls, they are genuinely fun to watch. They're awesome. They're 10th in the East because the Heat have lost 1 less game than them right now. So it's 34-42 versus 34-41. So the Bulls have been riding this Josh Giddey train and Kobe White, player of the month, of course. They're kind of fun. And they might have just, almost despite themselves, have stumbled into a bit of something. Now they just need to move on from Vooch, try to foist Patch Williams onto somebody and go from there. Either way, next tier. Playoff teams, but they're just a bit sad, kind of, really, maybe. The Atlanta Hawks, they're just a little bit sad, kind of, maybe, but they should probably win through the play-in tournament in either the 7 or 8 seed. And same with the team above them, the Orlando Magic in 15. But it does feel like they're just road bumps for the Cavs and the Celtics, right? I love the Magic, but without Jalen Suggs, the arse has completely fallen out of that team. The Hawks have got our beloved Dyson Daniels, the man of steel. But nobody else plays defense on that team. So, yeah, it's a bit rough. And in the West, there's the Memphis Grizzlies. I've got them ranked 14th right now. They're 6th in the West. As I mentioned, they could easily drop to 8. I still had them above the Magic and the Hawks despite losing their 4 games because they at least have their dudes. And if they just sort of maybe pull it together just a little bit, they are a bit sad, but they've got a bit more oomph. And at 13, I got the Milwaukee Bucks. They're just a bit sad, really, because you're watching Giannis. They don't have Dame. It feels like another completely lost season. We'll see what happens, but again, you don't feel like they're going to make too much noise. A Knicks-Bucks series would be very fun, 3-6 though. But anyway, have a awesome, fun legacy to live up to tier. This is the Detroit Pistons by themselves at 12. They're 5th in the East. I love them dearly. They're 42-33. Oh yes, give me a Malice in the Palace first round, please. Indy versus Detroit. Let's do it. Can we have Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal and co. just sitting courtside? We'll get Steven Jackson there. It'd be absolutely unreal. Tee me up. I'm all about it. The next series will make some noise in the playoffs, i.e. they could win a series. They could make a conference finals. Number 11, your New York Knickerbockers of New York City. Number 10, the Indiana Pacers. Number 4 in the East. I've got them ahead of the... Oh, actually, yeah, the Knicks are 3 in the East. I've got the Pacers ahead of them just because every time they're healthy, they look awesome. And you feel like, yeah, if the Knicks and the Pacers played a series right now, the Pacers would win it. So I'm going the Pacers because they don't have Brunson. Obviously, the Knicks, they'll have him back for this playoffs at some point. But at the moment, it's the Pacers above them. Number 9, I've got the Wolves. They're number, 7 in the West right now. Looking awesome. We'll jump into the top 6, I reckon, and leapfrog them Grizzlies. And then you got the Clippers, who definitely, if everything sort of keeps pointing the trajectory that they're on right now, they're 8th in the West right now, aren't they? Or are they 7th? 8th. That's another team that could jump into the top 6. I reckon it's going to be a crocodile roll, a death roll in the water between the Wolves and the Clippers for that 6th seed. And then they're probably not going to be too upset if they get the 7. Because then you probably get stuck playing against Houston. And like the Wolves and the Clippers would be like, this is kind of fun. I'm okay with this. Just saying. Next up, could make the conference finals. The Lakers in 7. They're number 4 in the West. They're looking pretty good. Number 6, the Denver Nuggets. Because I still feel like if the Lakers and the Nuggets played right now, the Nuggets would get by the Lakers. And then if the Warriors played either of these teams the way they're playing right now, I've got them 5th. Because I feel like they could make a conference finals, let alone a finals in the West. If it all just clicks, finals might be a bit of a stretch, but geez, they've raised their ceiling with the Jimmy Butler addition. And then at number 4, I've got the Houston Rockets just because, look, the way they've played the last couple of weeks, they had like this big win streak. They've also had like a couple of moments where you're like, what the hell are they doing? But they're number 2 in the West. Their defensive rating is through the roof. I think they're 4th overall. And really, that's their calling card. The only problem is, he's got old-ass Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks taking a million shots, and it's like Jalen Green's our other best option. LP Şengün. Yeah, it gives me a bit of a pause. But they could easily win like 1 or 2 series. So I've got them 4 at the moment because at the moment, I could see them, if you gave me a series with Lakers, Nuggets, Warriors, I might trust the Rockets to win through. Number 3, the Cavs. Oh no, Cleveland have dropped. Watch out. Cleveland! Yeah, just a bit of a weird blip in the radar here for Cleveland. They're 60-15. But losing that Pistons game the other day, and then sort of like they had a good win against the Clippers, but they're just not quite as good right now as OKC and Boston, who are 1 and 2. So OKC's 1. They're incredible. We broke down a couple of stats about them yesterday and why they're so good and just how good they are at 63-12 and how 75% of the teams that have hit that record in the past have won the bloody title. And 2 of them that didn't were the ones that got tripped up by a Cavs team that came back from 3-1 in the finals. Anyway, and Boston, 9-0 at the moment, 6-0 road trip. It's the first time that's ever happened in the franchise history. That's absurd. So I got Boston 2, OKC 1. The title goes through them at the moment. All right, Outback Takehouse. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. It's Wednesday night at Outback. You know what that means? Hump Day. That's right. We've got camel humps as our special. Tastes like fucking rubber, but it sure is a hump. We'll fill it with something good, like Savoys or some shit. So get around it. Only at Outback. Today's flame grilled take is Savoys. That'd be fucking great, actually. I'm here for it. Today's Outback Takehouse is just watching Aussie Matty T and Dyson Daniels go at it in that Atlanta-Portland game just made me realise once more, if Gorge had have taken Aussie Matty T to the fucking Olympics, we would have medalled. Only at Outback. He had 5 steals. I'm about to talk about the Australian Player Watch, but fuck, he's good. And you just forget just how good he is. And you have Dyson Daniels on the same court. You're like, who the fuck is scoring on this team? No one. Not at FIBA. Jesus. Anyway. Extra bonus one. Block charge calls fucking suck. And we should widen the fucking circle so that they don't happen. I just want to get rid of them. I hate them so much. All right, Australian Player Watch right after this.
This is Matthew Delvedova, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, time for the Australian Player Watch for Wednesday, April 2. Josh Giddey, giddy up, was pretty bloody good in the win over Toronto. Didn't have to play too much. They win at 137-118, absolutely walking away. They gave him a little bit of a rest. He only played the 27 minutes. He and, I think it was 28 minutes, sorry. There you go, 28 minutes, 25 for Vooch, 29 for Buzelis. So he ends up with 17 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds, along with 3 steals anyway. Shot 5 of 12 from the floor. And again, very encouragingly, 6 of 8 from the free throw line and 1 of 2 from downtown. Not bad from Gids. Dyson Daniels, as I mentioned earlier, he had 3 steals and 2 blocks, meaning he's got 216 steals for the season. He's got the new franchise record, and also because of that, that's the most amount of equals the most amount of steals in a year since 2008-2009 with Chris Paul, and the 50 blocks because he had 2 today was the Scottie Pippen stat. So he's the first in Scottie Pippen in 94-95 to have over 200 steals and 50 blocks in a season, which is absurd. Absolutely absurd. He had 22 points in the loss to Portland. He shot 11 of 13 from the floor, 0 of 1 from downtown, 10 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 6 turnovers. Bit of a brutal one, but still. Great game. Johnny Furphy didn't play for the Pacers because they didn't play today, but he got down there in the G League. He had 25-7-1 for the Mad Ants against Greensboro. Not bad. Jingling Joe Ingles copped a did not play coach's decision against Denver as the Wolves pulled that one out. 140-139. Absolutely chaos. Jack McVeigh went 0 of 3 for the against the Salt Lake City Stars for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. And we got for the other Aussies in that Atlanta game, Duop and Aussie Matty T, Dua played 17 minutes. He had 5 points, 4 rebounds. Goes 2 of 8 from the floor. 1 of 6 from 3, but he had 1 assist. Whereas Aussie Matty T, what a stat line. How good is this? 8 points on 4 of 10 shooting, 0 of 4 from 3. Jeez, Jim, that's not that good. He had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals. Absolute chaos he was out there causing. And finally, Taron Armstrong. You might remember him out there for the Santa Cruz Warriors. 14, 7, and 8 today against the Suns. That's the last game in the G League because the Warriors missed the playoffs. So we'll see if the Warriors actually get him out there. But they are in a dogfight for this playoff positioning. So I'm not sure if he's going to get a NBA debut, but we'll see what happens. So Taron Armstrong, he's averaged basically a bit under 12 points a game, almost 6 rebounds a game, almost 8 assists a game in his, 11, 12 games in the G League. So not bloody bad. Just saying. All right, how about a quick Shane Hill shoot your shot, light him up award and a Kiwi Korner.
Praise the Lord, I'm healed.
Praise the Lord, for I'm healed. It is the Shane Hill
Shooters shoot.
Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up award.
Oh, yeah. This is probably going to go to Steph Curry because he was awesome and hit 12 threes today. So the number of games with 12 plus made threes. Steph Curry has 4 of them. Clay has 3. And then it's a 5-way tie for 1. So he breaks the tie with Clay for most games with 12 plus made threes. He now has a third of all such games in NBA history, which is chaos. That was his 27th game as well, where he's hit 10 or more threes. 27th, where he's hit 10 or more threes. Clay has 9. Dame has 6. Levine has 3. Harden has 3. J.R. Smith has 3. You combine the next 5 players and they don't have as many as Steph does. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, what about Kiwi Korner? Very quickly, we'll see what our man Stephen Adams Brew has been up to. Oh, Stephen Adams Brew, what's going on, eh? Oh, I've been getting some rebounds, Jim. It's been pretty good, eh? 4.7 rebounds against the, who was that? That was the Lakers the other day. Causing all sorts of havoc. He had 6 points and 3 rebounds against the Suns as well. But he had a great steal the other day and then got it back for a sick dunk against the Lakers on Tuesday. So good stuff for Steven Adams. Love to see him out there causing all sorts of havoc. He averaged 5 points and 6.7 rebounds in 16 minutes for March. That is pretty bloody good. And his offensive rebounding rate is still through the roof. In that game against the Lakers, he got another 2 of his 7 were offensive rebounds. So pretty bloody good. All right, what about a Patty Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in, though? I'll tell you, we've got a few more Patty Mills updates because he's having a great time right now as Patty. Just loving being on the Clippers, I reckon. So there's a new Patty story and his threads. They look awesome. Go look at that one on his story. There's him in the Clippers duds, looking pretty cool in the tracksuit. Very smart. And then he puts on the red party sunnies at Old Mate's Pub there in New York. And then it smash cuts to everybody else wearing the red sunnies. And it's a very, very, very good viral reel. On you, Patty. Don't mind that. All right, let's do some game previews. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Bloody good. What do we go? Out of the 8 games today, I think we got 6 of them right against the line. We are crushing it of late, just saying. So you can follow all these picks along over at Dabble. You can copy them. You can check them all out. Use the code NBA Straya. Just smash the link in the show description or on the socials, on the Facey and IG story or underneath the tweet about where I have the video every morning. That's really fun. We're absolutely crushing it. So if you jump on there, use the code NBA Straya. We've got to keep this pirate ship afloat somehow, don't we? Yes, Jim, we do. So that'd be good. Help a brother out. We've got our daily best multis. We usually do just a massive multi of all the picks from that day so you can see what I've liked in that day. But also a couple of really good same gamers. Usually for the Aussies. We had a good one that almost hit, obviously, with Nikola Jokic. 30, 14, and 10. He just didn't get the rebounds today. It was a bit of a brutal one. And Giddy, he just didn't play enough because they kicked the crap out of Toronto. So that was a tough one too. But either way, tell them NBA Straya sent you. Use that code NBA Straya. Sign up if that's your thing. If not, it's all good. You can copy all the bets and all the picks every single day with NBA Straya over at Dabble. Right, let's have a look. Tomorrow, we've got a Knicks-Cleveland game. The Cavs are 10.5-point favorites, and that sits about right, doesn't it? Because if you think about the Knicks today, without Cat probably comes back, depending on how fake that injury was or not. I'm going to go the Cavs. They've got too much depth, too much talent, and they're at home. The Knicks are on a back-to-back. Give us Cleveland. We've got some really big lines tomorrow as well. So Indy hosts Charlotte, and Charlotte are an absolute basket case. We're going Indy minus 14.5. And against some of these shit teams right now, the lines are massive, but you're still just like, fuck it. Like, none of them. Charlotte, Washington, Utah, they're giving us nothing, so fuck them. Speaking of which, Sacramento go to Washington. I think the Kings will kick the crap out of the Wizards as well. 12.5-point line. I'd usually be a little bit leery against the Wizards, but the Kings can fill it up, and they will put up a pretty big score on this Washington team. They gave up, 169, was it, to the Pacers the other day? So, yeah. Miami, they travel to Boston. Now, I mentioned Miami in the power rankings. 10.5-point underdogs against the Celtics. I'm going to take Miami. They've looked a little bit better of late. The Celtics have these moments where they just get a little bit wonky on themselves. I think Miami should be able to stick with them a little bit, even in Boston. Houston are 17.5-point favorites against the Jazz. You know, Vernon Maxwell's just frothing about this one. They're going to kill the Jazz, who are just like playing nobody. So, yeah, I'm going to go. Even with that massive line, 17.5, the Jazz are just, no good. Just to go back on that Boston one as well. So they've beaten the Grizzlies by 14. They only got by the Spurs by 10. They beat the Suns by 30. They smashed the Kings by 18. 13 points over the Blazers. Yeah, they've not played too many good teams of late. I'll take the Heat just to like throw a little bit of a spanner in the works. Detroit OKC. How good is that game? I love that. OKC should probably beat them. But Detroit will put up a bit of a fight. If they have Cade plus 14.5, I'll take that. But without Cade, yeah, we'd go OKC probably. I think OKC might just launch into them. San Antonio, Denver. Fascinating game with the Nuggets on a back-to-back. Spurs. I mean, they're on a back-to-back as well. 8.5-point underdogs. I think the Nugs will probably maybe not play Jokic. So I might take the Spurs plus 8.5. And then finally, another massive line. The Clippers are 17.5-point favorites over the Pelicans. And I'm still going to take it. The Pelicans, look, they've sat CJ and Zion for the rest of the season. They've got nobody left. We're going to have to go the Clippers minus 17.5. And there you go. I reckon that'll do us for today. What a fun day it was. What an awesome day of basketball. I'm so happy that you were here to, share it with me. That's what it's all about here in NBA Straya. What a day! We will be back on deck tomorrow, so make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube, of course. We do the morning video. Get around and all the picks over at Dabble, of course. Use the code NBA Straya. Click on the link in the show description if you want to sign up. Basically, it helps the show. Tell them we sent you. Use that code NBA Straya. You can copy all our picks every single day. We're tracking over 60% this season. We're crushing it. It's awesome. So jump on. NFL Australia with myself and Gaz. That'll be out soon, trust me. It's the running joke each year. The off-season NFL Australias just never end up happening, but they will. It's okay. Check us a rating review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you use on your Android phone. This is all I actually ask. Rate, review, star. Chuck a comment in there on the YouTube as well. Jump in. Say good day. Send it through a yeah, nah, whatever you want to pick my brain about. Go nuts about it. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song, as well as House Hats, Joshua Del Rentis, Fascinating Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sextra, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear, so smash them on Apple Music, Spotify, we listen to your tunes. Do that. NBA Straya Sports Train Bands. All right, that's it. We'll get out of your hair. We will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And later, hoes out! G'day legends, your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Australia. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in yeah, nahs. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old dabble, use that code NBA Straya, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Straya, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?